Pedri and Gavi or Tchouameni and Camavinga? Who do you want taking your team in the future? Who do you want stepping into the shoes of, with Pedri and Gavi, you look at that Xavi and Iniesta Busquets midfield that obviously Xavi and Iniesta are gone now, but they still have Busquets and they're sort of phasing out of that and coming into a new midfield era. Or you look at like you said, Casemiro, Kroos, Modric, who are a little bit younger than that previous midfield, but still phasing out and soon will be like Luka Modric is 37, so they're on their way out. Yeah. So who do you think is better to leave in the hands of your team?
Ooh, Eli, do you want to take this one first?
I mean, both are great options, but I'm personally going with the French duo of Tchouameni and Camavinga. Just Tchouameni is an insane player.
He's insane.
He's so good, dude.
He plays as a 6. He's like he reminds me of like a better defensive Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
Like he plays in a 6, but he's like 6'1", 6'2". He's built like kind of big, but at the same time, he can take players on. He can do everything. Like I think I heard this stat that he had the most interceptions out of like anybody in Europe or something like that, or maybe any like 6 in Europe. Like he loves to intercept the ball, make tackles, and he's so good defensively, but then beating the press is something that like I really love to watch in a player, and he beats the press so well. He's so comfortable with the ball at his feet. He makes good passes. And yeah, I just think that signing, like it's a great sign. He's one of the best number 6s in the world, like probably the best up and coming behind.
Yeah.
Probably ahead of Declan Rice, I would say.
Really? You'd say that?
Wow. I mean, Declan's definitely further on in his career, but
yeah, he's a bit older.
I could see the takeover most definitely there.
I'm gonna go with those two as well, just because, like you said, I think they have the technical ability that Gavi and Pedri have, but they are both 6 foot plus, and just athleticism wise, I think they're gonna be Gavi and Pedri only have speed on them, I think. And
I would say technical ability.
The ability, yeah, with the dribble.
Yeah.
On the dribble, I think they're going to be way better, but that's just two different play styles for me. I mean,
it's almost like Real Madrid Barca, like a complete identity.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be the future of the rivalry, I think, is looking at that midfield. I don't see, like, their forwards, I don't see them, like, huge.
Yeah.
You could say Ansu Fati was in the running, but he's kind of dropped off a bit with his injury.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd personally go with the Real Madrid duo, just based on like they kind of seem to have like the whole package as a midfielder, height, strength, technical ability, all of it. And would you agree?
I disagree.
Really? Okay.
This is super valid. The only reason I say this is because I don't think you can disagree with me that Pedri has performed at the highest level of all 4 of the players. Like, he is consistently able to put world-class performances in for the Spanish national team and for Barca. And, like, you just see the stats. I mean, even from, like, Euro 2020. Like, the stats are
he was starting
crazy.
as an 18-year-old
And
in the Euros.
so he's done it at a much higher level than Camavinga or Tchouameni, or even Gavi. Like, Gavi is definitely behind him. He's a great player, but he's behind him in his development. So I think that, like, I don't have enough faith or confidence in Tchouameni or Camavinga yet, because Camavinga wasn't even, like, one of their star players or key players in their biggest games that Real Madrid were playing this year. He was coming off the bench. In the Champions League, he was coming off the bench. And so, like, and he was still getting time, and he was a good player, right? You have to respect that. But I don't think he's as far along in his career development as Pedri. And for that reason, I think the Pedri-Gavi duo will do better eventually, or at least I can say I have more confidence in them being successful eventually. Like, I don't have the full confidence in Camavinga Tchouameni yet.
Yeah.
My response to that, I mean, just the only difference there is, like, Real Madrid won the Champions League. Yeah. Barcelona knocked out of the Europa League. And, like, I think, like Barca and Real Madrid are clubs at 2 completely different places in like their build up. Like Real Madrid is like one of the best teams in the world now, and Barcelona is like trying to build. Yeah, like they're building there and they're getting there. They have potential, like with players and stuff like that. But I think that's why we see so much. We're going to continue to see so much more of Pedri and Gavi, because they're being given like that freedom, because they don't really need to like they're great players, but they're not playing to the level of Real Madrid right now.
So you're saying if Camavinga is in that Barca team, he's instant minutes immediately?
Yeah.
I would say so.
I could see that 100%. I'm just making sure I'm getting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's a good point. I just like the only thing that I look to is like Euro 2020.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously Camavinga wasn't really eligible. He wasn't like as old yet, and he wasn't available. So it's hard because Camavinga is now getting to that age that I think he's what, 1 or 2 years younger. He must be.
I think he's like 19, isn't he?
Yeah, and let me look it up to make sure I get this right. So Pedri is
Gavi's like 17.
yeah, Gavi's so young, dude. It's crazy. Pedri is 19. So Pedri was in the Euros at age 17, completing like 93 of 93 passes in the game. Remember that stat?
I do remember
it's
that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Camavinga.
That was against like Italy too.
Yeah. Camavinga is also 19. So like, yeah, there you go. So he's not even younger, really. Yeah.
It's just different situations at the club. Like,
yeah, it is. And
Real
like,
Madrid
but
just
Pedri
have
been
that.
given that bigger chance on the national stage. So I would say I still have more confidence in him just because I've seen him more. It's hard to like when you know a player better. It's hard to then say like I trust someone else to do better in the long run.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I say that.